Hi, yes, it's me. The short version of this video is Otterbox. I cannot recommend them anymore. Okay, go off and buy something else. Yeah, I'm making this video now because it's kind of urgent in the way my brain works. I need it as a backup plan. Things to do with my gig. My phone is my backup plan. The case is falling apart. What's this? I have an extra one. I'll tell you the story in a moment. But yeah, I'm sorry if this is like random and I go off topic like I always do and you watch me anyway. But yeah, I just want to start this by saying this is meant to be the start of a series of why you shouldn't be loyal to any company anymore. Like, you know, way back in the day. Apparently companies used to value loyalty and would treat you better to try and keep your business. Not true anymore. And I have some specific companies that I'm pretty cross with. So if I can stick to my plan, which we know there's no guarantee of that, I'm too chaotic, but, you know, companies that I am not impressed with, if you want the, like, you know, overview of who you should avoid, Optus. Obviously, Optus. I think people are increasingly realizing that, but I switched a while back. Also, Aldi Mobile, I was not impressed with. Pet Barn, I really, really dislike. That, And then Pet Circle is also going downhill. I used to recommend them a lot, cannot do that anymore. They have lost my loyalty. Oh my god. Anytime a company does a rebrand, be wary. It's probably corporate bullshit and they're about to suck. Dell Alienware, I have a huge story about that I haven't been able to tell because it happened right at the time I got Triton, who is somewhere back there. Cross, he's like, why are you talking? You haven't done a video in ages. Even he knows I haven't done a video in ages. But yeah, no, that one all went down at the time I got him as a puppy, and so I was super busy and just haven't got around to it. Also, new one, OPSM, they have one more chance. But probably, no, don't go to OPSM unless you're really desperate. Don't do it. Also, so there's some online support issues. Aesop, I love their in-store, but their online and their online support, and there's a lot of companies where their online support really lets them down, which is a shame if their in-store experience is great, because then I'm like, should I give them my money? Should I not? Luckily, Aesop does have some good products, and they're really nice, especially to Triton, who went in a little bit early today and would have sat outside their door right until opening time if they hadn't taken pity on him and given him treats early. He gets like a pre-opening service. Anyway, never mind. Also, I'm not going to do a Samsung phone again, I don't think. And maybe not even a flagship phone. But today we're talking about Otterbox, which they pretty much only make like the really hardcore cases for flagship phones. So if I stopped getting flagship phones, I wouldn't get these anyway. But let me tell you about why I don't like them anymore. And actually, I was meant to get my old... This is my S7 Edge. It was my first smartphone. This is my second smartphone ever. I'm very slow with these things. I'm not... Everyone thinks I'm a tech person around here. Maybe because I know a bit about tech is why I get a little bit paranoid and avoid them. I don't know, but I'm actually kind of old-fashioned in a lot of ways. Where is my necklace going? By the way, buy my merch. Shirts, look, that's from my first EP, and I'm writing a new EP, and I'm gonna tell you guys about that because, oh my god, that's something that you might actually care about on my channel. Anyway, S7 Edge, Otterbox case, it even had the front screen, and yeah, the front screen's all scratched up, but the phone under it, as far as I know, is fine. I quite liked this. It was really good, and like, I'm sure there's the holster, I don't know where I put the holster, but same as this one has a holster. Very handy for putting on your belt clip. I do like that. I do like the holster thing. And once I stop using these, that's going to be a hard thing to adjust to. But, okay. Let me talk about quality first before I get into their customer service. Quality. Okay, so I got this phone, my S7 Edge, and yes, it is still plugged in. I'm so paranoid, I keep it as like a backup. And it does also have the little, like, you know, the S7 Edge, it has the little thing where you can do your monitoring health shit that was their gimmick at the time. Yeah, anyway, no, so I got 2016, and I only had to, like, during 2020, the charging port, the data cable thing wasn't really working, so I had to get that changed, but then the call quality sucked, and I had to put my finger over something to stop it getting, you know, echoes or whatever for the person on the other end, so, I switched to the S21 Ultra, after that, so I probably had this, you know, 4 or 5 years, and in this case, for 4 or 5 years, never had a problem with it. You know, even this little thing, the little thing that covers the charging port, still intact. Yes, I haven't really messed with that since, you know, I just plugged it in and don't use it anymore. There's like the tiniest little sign that maybe it was starting to wear off, but it's still there. This one, on the other hand, I've had it, so 2021, I got it, or like, you know, maybe it was slightly before 2021, I can't remember. Go back and see my videos about when I got it, because I got it when it came out. And it's now 2025, so that's 4 years as well. Look at this. That came off. It came off quite a while ago, too. Like, it's been... I think it came off... Well, my emails were, like, in 2023, I was looking back. So, like... What? It didn't last? Are you kidding? And like in 2023, it didn't completely come off, but it was coming off significantly, and that's why I ended up emailing support to find out. Like, I was just wanting to ask them, hey, it's starting to come loose. And this is, I can accept that as regular wear and tear. But, you know, I wanted to know, like, is there a way to stop it from coming off, or like what can I do to prevent this? Anyway, but like, point being, didn't last. I also didn't like the fact that it doesn't have a front screen cover. Now, I understand that's because phone technology has changed and there's the under screen thumbprint thing, which, like, I was fine with the one, like, you know, it has a little physical thing, separate button there. That was fine. Whatever. But yeah, so it's really more the phone manufacturer's fault that this one doesn't have the front cover, and I've just had to keep the manufacturer's one, and then of course I dropped it on some sandy stuff, and now it's got all these little bubbles, which are really annoying, and they do feel shit. But it was going to cost $40 to replace it, and I'm like, maybe I'll wait until it's really bad before I get someone to replace that for me. Yeah, also, no part of this started to fall apart. The whole time that I used it, and even like now, it's so dusty because I haven't touched it. Sorry, let me just clean that up. But yeah, back then, 2016, like, that you can see the whole thing is intact. Everything about it looks pretty great. This one, and the reason I'm having to change it now is, like, this part is... Oh, look at that. Look, see? Like, bits have started to fall off, and in this corner too. And one of the things that's really annoying is because I keep it on... Hang on, how do I go? I keep it on the holster. I keep it upside down because then... I don't know, it just makes more sense when I want to see the time, and I just sort of, like, go like that, and I can see the time, and it's like, yeah, cool. Just hook it onto there. And that's the same way that I used the old version. And then now, like, trying to pull it out of this... where that holster is where a lot of that wearing off has gone. Never had that problem with this, completely fine. And then, yeah, I don't know why the corner bit is come off, like down there. Like, it's not from this action, because you'd expect the top to go too. It's just, it's not as, like, I don't know, they must have changed the materials, because it does feel different. And yeah, it just hasn't lasted as long. So there's some quality issues there. And you can also see, in the back here, there's like some weird, it's a bit hard to see actually. It's kind of like melty. I don't know if that's like from being in the holster, and it's like, I wish I had better camera to show you this. And you know, like for my next phone, I might just like get a separate camera and go back to that, because the fucking focus on this gives me the shits. Like, I have to bash it to get like the rear camera anyway. Like, the front facing camera is fine, but the rear cameras are the point of getting something like this. But yeah, no, this one, no meltiness. No meltiness. Like, what is it? Some kind of rubber, plastic? I don't know. I know that rubber can degrade, but they managed to make it good with this one, somehow not this one. And so I just think, like, and like this even feels, it has a sort of bubbly feel. It's always had this bubbly feel, where there's like some kind of air gap. This one, not as bad. a little bit, but like this one feels like really bubbly by comparison. So in the, from 2016 to late 2020 or early 2021, I don't know if there's been some cost cutting or some design problems or what, but I was much happier with this Otterbox than this one. But another consideration, though, is just like, do you even need a hardcore case like this anymore? I mean, for one thing, the quality is not as good. Does it protect the phone fine? I'm sure it does. But phones today are a little bit more sturdy. Like when I got this phone, people were still cracking their screens, and I had been dropping my old Nokia in front of other people when they dropped their phones, just as a like, haha, look at my indestructible phone. The case would come off, but I'd just put it back together and it'd be fine. And so I had a lot of like intentionally dropped phone karma. And I was like, if I drop this and the screen breaks, I would be very sad because that's all coming back to bite me. But nowadays, yes, glass is glass and glass breaks, but they have made the glass stronger than it used to be. And, a standard case is probably fine. And that's what my mummy's using now, and which case we'll get onto the service issues. So I just think, to summarize that part, I think the quality is not what it used to be. I mean, I have a sample size of 2, so, take my opinion with a grain of salt, but I'm just like, this is just not as good as what I had before. Okay, and then I don't think I really need something like this. But let's get on to the service. So when I asked them, hey, is there anything I can do to stop this falling off? Because it was like half attached. I sent them a picture. Is there anything I can do about it? Like maybe they could have told me a sort of a glue or like something. I clutching at straws, but I was just like, oh no, it's coming off. How am I going to stop this? Surely the manufacturer will know. Now, I didn't hear anything back from them. Instead, they sent me this. Like, no questions asked. They just sent it to me. I wasn't asking for a new one. They just sent it. Which I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but nice, okay. And then after I told Mum, I was like, Mum, guess what? I just... And she told me, oh, mine actually came out ages ago. So actually, no, I have a sample size of 3 because hers was for the S20. We got her an Otterbox, the S20. And yeah, hers had actually come out quite a while ago and she just never told me and just left it. And so I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll email them about her one and, see if they can replace hers. Because, like, they had some kind of warranties back then. I don't know if they've changed them or what. I can't be bothered to look at it. It's not my field. I'm not Lewis Rossman. By the way, to all the Clippies out there, thank you for your service. I have thought about changing my profile picture to a Clippy, but then I also want to maintain my own identity, and I'm like, is there a way that I can Clippify myself? But then again, I'm not nerdy enough, and there's not a lot I can do. Anyway, thank you to all the Clippies out there. Where was I? Anyway, the Clippies will work out what the warranty used to be and what it is now and whether there's any issue there. But with Mum's one, and this was in 2023, nowadays they're saying, I think, like 3 years of support, so maybe it just scraped. I don't know. They didn't tell me any of these things, but what they said to me, like, I showed them the proof of purchase because I bought directly, both of these I bought directly from them, and I think I even bought that one directly from them as well. Yeah, and yes, I did buy them all directly from Otterbox. So, like, it was in my account. They could see in my account this thing. I sent them the receipt, all that. And they came back to me and told me they'd already replaced it. And, like, I couldn't have another one because I just had one. And I was like, hey, if you pay attention, this was for a different product. I bought one for my mum because I thought these were great products. So of course I was going to, share that around. And they seemed very resistant, to, they didn't want to own up to that mistake, or they thought I was, like, they made me feel like I was bullshitting or I was lying or something. Like, I don't really know what they were thinking. I can understand the mistake because they're very similar looking and they had the exact same issue. And the exact same issue tells you more about their quality, doesn't it? If that's happening now, whereas it didn't happen to my 2016 one. But yeah, just like that attitude of like accusing me when I have clear evidence that I've bought 2 different ones and I've submitted 2 different things, they're accusing me when they're the ones with the product issue. And I just, like, it gave me a really bad taste, and I kind of gave them an out because I'm too nice. I'm learning not to be nice. I'm learning to stand up for myself when I think someone else has genuinely dropped the ball and it's not my fault, it's theirs. But at the time, because this is 2023, like, I've done so much therapy since then, and I'm actually starting to make more progress and starting to learn how to be a bit more assertive and cause trouble. I'm not causing trouble, I'm just standing up for my shit. But, you know, going in and telling these companies what they're doing wrong, they should pay me consulting fees, honestly. But then again, they should probably pay a lot of YouTubers consulting fees for exposing their shit and telling them how to do it better. Can we dream of a better Disney? No, because they don't really listen. Anyway, so yeah, they accused me of all this shit, and it just, I mean, they didn't accuse in a like really harsh way, but it left me with a really bad feeling. And so I gave them an out. I was like, oh, you know, I can understand if there's none left because it's an old model, blah, blah, blah. And they happily took that out. Thank God, because if they had come up with a different excuse, I would have kept pushing, and I just didn't have the energy for it. So I thought I will feed them an out. And yeah, so then they just told me, oh, we don't have any left. And I'm like, yeah, bullshit. They just wanted to get rid of me, and I gave them away. I shouldn't have done it, but I did because I was too nice and I let it go. But yeah, I don't really know what, like, you know, if that had been the issue, if they had none left, they would have told me up front rather than accusing me of bullshit. But they didn't. They accused me first, and then they took the out I provided. So I don't actually believe them. I think they just thought I was trying to scam them or something, which I was not. And, you know, like, I sent them the photos, I sent them the receipts showing it's 2 different phones. I think they were too embarrassed. Why were they so embarrassed to admit a mistake, though? I bought this from otterbox.com.au, and this is where things get a little bit more shady from me, like, for me. Otterbox.com.au, meant to be Australian, right? I think they're actually based in Hong Kong, or I don't remember, like, the you know, what the address was and all that. I think they're based in Hong Kong, and the shadiest part of this for me is buying off an Australian website in Australian dollars should be no problem, but every single time they have charged a $1 international transaction fee. And that, to me, like, I don't know, should I have reported it at the time? Probably. Like, the way I am now, I probably would have reported it or tried to figure out, you know, who do I go to like, where do I go to confirm whether or not this is something they're allowed to do? A $1, like, you know, it's only $1. That's why that's another reason to just let it go. Like, it's $1, it's fine, it's a good product, or it was a good product and I believed in it then. But yeah, that's really shady. Like, it says .com.au. I thought I was buying from an Australian website. Came from overseas, fine, people do drop shipping, but to charge an international transaction fee, really, Otterbox? Like, that was the first red flag way back. But that first product, the S7 Edge case, was genuinely good. It's still good today. It still does its job. I'm happy with that. This, though, like, it's... Okay, I will give them credit for just sending me one. If they had been good to me and either sent one to my mum, and like, you know, the problem is that we live in the same address, so that's another reason they probably think it's shady, but if they had sent my mum a replacement, or if from the very start they had said we don't have any left, I would have come on YouTube and been like, hey guys, this company is the best company ever. But that's not what happened. What happened is they accused me of shit. Like, I didn't ask for this. I wasn't trying to get this. They just sent it to me, which is great. But then they treated me like a scammer. And it just leaves a bad taste. And then on top of that, the shadiness of the international transaction fee and the decline in quality and the fact that I even have to replace it in the first place. Like, if their products had just stayed good, they wouldn't have to send me this. They wouldn't have to accuse me of scamming them. Do you know what I mean? So I can't recommend Otterbox anymore, and especially these phones. The glass is better than it used to be. Dropped screens, like, you don't hear as much about people breaking their phones from the slightest bump, unless you have a folding one and you've scratched that up because you don't realize it's not really glass. Yeah, I can't recommend Otterbox anymore. And if they had not sent me this, I probably would have done what my mum did and get a clear one, because I should probably open this now because I am going to change it. If I wasn't able, I forgot that thing was going to fall out. If I wasn't able to get a, if they hadn't sent this one, I would have just gotten a clear one, because like my mum's one, which I think was a pink one, S20, this has, like, it's got a nice, like, that is a nice color, and it is a shame to, it looks so much better in person than on the screen. It is a nice color, and it's a shame to hide it, but I'm a little paranoid, and so why is this a backup thing that I need to do this video now? It's because, so for my performance, 12th of October, if you're in Sydney, and you don't mind your ears bleeding because it's a heavy gig, wear earplugs. Even if you're going to, like, if you are at a show and you have to raise your voice to be able to be heard by the person next to you, or, like, yell into their ear or whatever, it's too loud. You should be wearing earplugs. I know, but earplugs, you can hear things better because it's not just, like, noise destroying your ear. You can actually hear music better, as long as your earplugs aren't completely shit. But also, like, if your hearing dies, you can't enjoy music anymore. Not in the same way. You're missing out different frequencies. Like, come on, just wear earplugs. Just do it. This is your auntie Destroy America telling you to wear earplugs. Hey, I'm old enough. I should get a old man yells at cloud. Anyway, earplugs, blah, blah. Why was I talking about? Oh, yeah, my gig. 12th of October, Crowbar in Leichhardt in Sydney. I'm going to be on at 5 p.m. doing my solo project. I've got a couple new songs. Only Patreon has heard them. Yeah. And I'm doing, like, all my songs plus a cover. It's a 45-minute set. Holy shit. That is a long gig. I don't know if I even did a gig that long with my bands in the past. So I've gone straight from open mic to this. I've been doing so much work. But so I have a device. I have my old Walkman that I run my tracks off. I know it's weird, because most people do, like, their computer or something. But computers are complex. More can go wrong, especially if you trip over a cable or, something isn't connected properly. And I've had that issue with Rainbow Death Ray early on. No, the Walkman, very sturdy connection. It's a Sony, like, when I say Walkman, it's an MP3 Walkman, not a tape player, but it has a very sturdy connection, and I've got an adapter that goes into a DI box, and I will just preset, like, I've got ways to make sure there's a bit of silence before I start the next song, and, I've worked it all out. But if for any reason that dies, because it is, like, 10 years old, it's very well built, but it's 10 years old, or maybe the battery runs out, which it's been pretty good, but, aging devices, I'm just gotta be prepared for everything. So I'm using this as my backup device. I did buy, a thing that turns this into a headphone jack, but not a cheap one. It was like $100 and something, but it's very good. Like, even with my IEMs, there is no buzzing. It's like, it has adjustable impedance or something, and it's very good. So I will connect that. Like, yes, I know I could use this as my main device, but it's a phone, it's complex, things can go wrong. Like, I just don't trust it enough, and the connection is not as sturdy even with that device compared to my Walkman. So that's why I need this phone to be nice and protected and not have to be fucking around with this falling apart, because, like, these bits that go on the front, these bits that go on the front that are coming off, like, they're actually starting to be really annoying to deal with when I'm using the phone and, taking it out of the holster and whatever. So yeah, that's why I need to change this. I know I spent a while explaining that. So this will be my last Otterbox case ever. I just don't care anymore, and I will get a cheaper phone next time as well. Might even, maybe I would get a cheap Samsung. I'm sure as hell not getting a flagship again, and I'll just get proper cameras going forward. I have lost patience for bullshit. I've been very tolerant. Part of the glass child trauma thing, you just deal with things. You're supposed to be the good girl. You're supposed to be the one who just, does her own thing, stays out of trouble, whatever. But no, I'm not the one causing these problems. It's these shit companies and shit people who don't know how to do customer service, and people who just don't do their jobs, and people who aren't reliable, and people who... One of my new songs is very much about people who let you down. And actually, that one's probably worse than Otterbox, because Otterbox, they're just a company. But this song goes into people who pretend to care about you and then let you down. Holy shit. Anyway, I have said enough. I've got to... the more I talk, the longer it's going to take to upload this and review it. And I've got to look at... I did record my performance so I can see what my dance moves are like, because my choreography skills are not the best, and if I look like a nutcase on stage, that'll be totally on brand. See you later.